Hello, welcome. I'm Claudia. If you're new here, if you're back, thanks so much for coming back. I know that this is going to be probably the second video you see before you see my whole Millsbow wide spider mite cabinet situation, but I decided to shoot that in a vlog style where I'm waiting a 2-week period and showing updates and progress to make sure that when I bring the plants all back, I have truly eradicated the situation. So it is going to take me a little bit longer to get that video out to you, but it is in progress. So what we're going to do today is we are going to finally repot my pothos, my Snow Queen Pothos. It's in a pole back here, if you can see. I have been needing to repot that plant probably for like, I don't know, at least 6 months or so, and I just haven't gotten to it, but today is the day. I mixed up a fresh batch of my DIY AROID mix that we're gonna use. I have a pole because we also need to extend, and then we are also going to propagate my Manjula Pothos because I've been wanting to get that plant on a pole forever. If you've been here for a while, I did have a Manjula Pothos on a pole once, but unfortunately that Manjula, we had issues, okay? And I decided to move on from him. Grab yourself a nice refreshing drink, or let's do some chores together. I'll get the plants. I did my best to gather all the supplies, so hopefully I don't need to leave the room at some point to get something, although I probably will. And let's get started. All right, I got a little bit better situated to show you what we're gonna do. I have to admit, I'm feeling low energy today, but I really have things that I need to and want to do, planty things to share with you. And then I also I feel like every day I started the vlog for the spider mite situation in the Millsbow wide cabinet, but I've been needing to do something about it almost every day. And not because every day that's how treatment is, but because I just keep not completing everything that I want to do to make sure that I'm actually cleaning everything out. So currently I treated all of the plants, thoroughly washed all the pots and all of that. That took me like 2 days. And then I still need to completely clean out the cabinet, but it's been now, I did that on Friday and today is Tuesday. So yeah, and I just feel like it's hanging over my head, like I need to do it. I'm gonna clear everything out. I mean, you'll see. But yeah, I just wanna make sure that it is completely taken care of. But for today, let's focus on better things. I just grabbed her and this is what she is looking like. I know it's a little hard for you to see, but look at some of these newest leaves. Just how big and how like snowy they are. I love them. So technically I could chop this now, but first of all, where I see a lot of the roots are like from here down. I do see roots up here, but nowhere near as many. So I just don't think that these top nodes have as many roots to chop, A, and B, like I kind of would like these bigger leaves to be the bottom of the new plant once I chop it. So I want to give this an opportunity to continue to size up before I do that. I am going to have to resituate some of these vines because this one in particular keeps wanting to grow out to the side. I mean, I added way too many. I think there's 4 vines growing up this, so this is too many. 3 would have probably been too many. But this is what we have, and then this is clearly the dominant one. Let's see if you can see how chunky this vine is. But okay, this should be, and it's also just in like a 5.5 inch pot. So we are going to move it to this. This is a 6.7, so almost a 7-inch pot, but it's a lot taller, which is good. I think it'll be really good support for the pole. So we're gonna do a plop and fail situation here because that's what we're gonna do. Okay, yeah, let's do this. So this is in my DIY AROID mix as well, but the difference between this AROID mix and the one we're going to use today is that this one I was using cocoa coir peat, and what I use now is tree fern. But I mean, they work very similar. There's like, I mean, I can see a ton of roots in here, but there's no roots coming out and I can't get it out. It's also very thirsty. Look how many roots for this tiny pot and this huge plant. Okay. So something I noticed and started doing when I repot moss poles is I won't add any soil to the bottom because I want the moss pole to be able to be as stable as possible. So I just add them directly down there. This is some dried up moss we're gonna get rid of. And I probably should have set myself up with my AROID mix before I did this. So I stopped using the cocoa peat just because it's, even though it is very fluffy, I did find that it was sinking to the bottom of my mix a lot. And I like tree fern because it doesn't do that. And I also feel like I use so little of both anyway, so it's all good. I'm gonna bring it up here because I can see myself making a mess already. Did you see that? Of course you did. Now I do have a ton of cocoa peat left because I had originally bought one of those huge blocks. So I do still use it in things like when I pot up begonias or caleithias. My syngonium alvo is potted into that. Oh, this poor vine. Okay. So I think that is good as far as soil. I am going to have to go grab some grafting tape, and that's okay. Let's build the extension though first. I don't know about you, but I just cannot work once like my space is a mess. I feel like I really need to, like, it just drives me crazy. I need to have a clean space. The Snow Queen is on a Russo grow pole, and this is a previously used grow pole we're gonna use. So I'm just gonna clip it up and then we'll add the moss once it's actually on the plant. This is a pretty loved pole. Now let me aim you a little bit higher so that you can see me adding the pole. I have this cup, which is how I water it. But these just like nestle right into each other, which is Very convenient. Okay, that's it. And then we'll just add moss. This is actually all the pre-moistened moss that I had. I thought it would be enough, and technically it is, right? Because the last node is like down here, but I want to go ahead and fill it up because I really do use that cup to refill. So I'm gonna be right back with more moistened moss. I'm back with more moss and I brought the grafting tape. So let's do this. Finally, here we go. I'm going to add some grafting tape to secure the vines onto the pole, and then we are going to take him in the shower for a thorough watering, and then he'll be set and we'll move on to the Manjula. If you could see the mess I made with just this very little work we did so far. So this is the main vine, and I want to make sure that I am guiding it toward the center of the pole. So use grafting tape. I've used this many times before here, so, and I do think I have a playlist about like everything moss poles that I can link if you're interested. But I do like grafting tape because I feel like it helps the node, it helps those aerial roots better or like faster attach or like reach for the moss because it keeps them more moist. There is, yeah, there's like way too many vines here, but that's okay. It is what it is for now. And I know that you can't see great right now, but I will show you everything once we are done. I honestly think that like these two bottom ones that aren't attached, like this one and this one, I'm just gonna attach just for like aesthetic reasons with one of those like orchid pins and call that a day, because I mean obviously this vine is the one that's really taking over with the upsizing, so I don't want to spend too much time trying to set those other ones up to upsize, you know. I will admit grafting tape is kind of super annoying to work with. It doesn't always stick. It's, yeah, it's just a bit of a pain. So sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of times I end up having to use tape in the back just to hold it in place. And that's what I do. As the roots grow into the moss pole, you can remove the grafting tape. Honestly, I never am that attentive to look back and remove it later, but you know, just something to note. Okay, so we will take her in the shower, give her a thorough watering, clip these bottom ones, and then I'll show you at the end what she looks like all nice and hydrated again. Snow Queen is getting hydrated. In the meantime, we are going to chop my Manjula Pothos, and honestly, it's so bare at the base that I'm thinking in this very moment, like, should we chop it all the way back? I have intrusive thoughts are coming in. I don't know. Let's pick those some cuttings for my pole first, and then I guess we can decide what it is that we want to do with the rest of the plants. Where? Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm thinking this is a good cut for the pole. So we will do this. This is honestly very pretty too and creamy. So we can do here. I'll get rid of this leaf. I'm thinking I'm gonna take 3 cuts for the pole. This is pretty damaged. This is pretty. I think it has to be this one, even though it's kind of, well, this, either of these. I think I'm gonna do this one. And I'll just do to here. Okay, so those are my cuttings for the pole. And yeah, honestly, I'm feeling like I should just restart this whole thing. Although, lots of wet sticks, and I was not prepared for that. But I can go get, I wasn't prepared for that. I really should though. Cause this is not, like, this isn't cute, let's be honest, right? Yeah, okay. Let's take care of those and then we're gonna come back to this and tend to it. Yeah, okay. Thank you for talking this through with me. Now, I do want to do something a little bit different. I've only ever done this once before, and I did have success, but it did take longer, I think. I want to propagate directly into pond, and the reason I want to do that is because I would like to have this in semi-hydro just as a way, because I do want to give it a moss pole, and I think semi-hydro would be a lower maintenance way to have a moss pole, not necessarily because the plant is super thirsty, but because we know the poles. So yeah, last time I propagated in pond, I believe was my Alocasia michelitziana, and it did root. It's doing great, but I do want to say it took a little bit longer to root. I'm just gonna leave all these cuttings as is. So like here is one. And then here is another. And the third one, they look like little florets, which I think is kind of cute. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave them as is because as we saw, like some of these leaves don't look the nicest. So we will see just what comes of it. I didn't bring something to scoop, so we're using my hand, I guess. I don't want to go back to the kitchen, although I'm gonna have to get the stuff for the rest of the plants. Okay. And I do have water. And of course I'm gonna take it over to my grow rack. I've said this before, I can take better care of my propagations and things that need maybe more constant waterings or more frequent waterings because I don't know, it's over by my kitchen area. I check on them kind of all at the same time, and because they're in similar conditions, then they will need refills kind of at the same time. So here is hopefully what will go in a moss pole very soon. Now let me go grab some sort of prop box for all of these wet sticks we're about to have. I'm back with a little makeshift prop box we're gonna make for my Manjula, but I didn't bring a jar for more of the leaf cuttings, so I am gonna have to go back and do that. This is like a takeout container. I'm out of my prop boxes, are all currently full, and then this is pre-loved stratum that I just found I kept for some reason. So we're gonna use that. All right, so we are going to chop this literally all the way back to the base. So like right there would be one example. What am I even gonna do with all of these? Maybe I should have thought about, maybe I shouldn't do all of them all the way to the base because it should reactivate some of those nodes also. Okay. Yeah, maybe I won't do all of them all the way back. I'll do them most of the way. And then these will be leaf cuttings. Ooh, that's already a spent, oh no, it's not. That's just where I chopped before. I mean, yeah, pretty much chopped it all the way back. I'm also gonna be adding that over to the grow rack. I am concerned now that I chopped way too much for like there's just way too many wet sticks probably, and like this one's all green, so I'm actually not going to keep this one at all. To remove these. I guess we don't have that many wet sticks. I mean, it's a lot, but considering, I'm gonna moisten the stratum. Okay, and then I'll just, I guess first let's cut them up. I wonder if I needed to cut all of these up. Like, could I possibly just put this down there? I don't know. Maybe I'll try it with some chunks. Like I'll keep 3 there, 2 there. These have a little bit of longer internodal space, so 2 there, 2 there, 2 and 1. And then we'll do these individual because these had the nicer color. I'm gonna keep this one, actually has 2. We'll do that. Okay, it's still a lot. It's a lot of It's a lot of notes. This is full, and we're just gonna cover it up and take it over to my, this is not the right cover. This is gonna have to do. I usually don't have to refill prop boxes with water until like I have to get the plants out, but this is not the right lid, so I may have to. I'm gonna take this over to the grow rack and then get some vessels, and I'm just gonna put these in water. I just brought this one, and I hope that they all fit in here, because I feel like I'm reaching the maximum and like just energy and mental capacity I had for today's plant chores. I mean, it's, yeah, they should all fit just fine. I'm gonna take this over to the windowsill in my kitchen, because that's usually where I keep water props, like I always have. And they just do well, and then it's easy for me, like when I'm in the sink washing dishes or rinsing something off, to refill if needed. So that's where this is gonna go. I'm gonna go grab the Snow Queen, put her back in her spot, and show you what she looks like all nice and hydrated with her new dew. I'm so excited about this plant, and honestly I'm so impressed that it's upsized so nicely with all the neglect I've put that plant through. Again, you saw like how overdue it was for an upsize, and I'm just getting around to it now. And in the beginning especially, I was letting it dry out constantly, like just, I mean, that's why so much of the bottom is bare. And it was probably just maybe 6 months ago, if that tops, that I started really putting more effort into that Snow Queen pole, and she's just rewarded me so nicely. Those top newest leaves, like the last 2 or 3, are so beautiful, and the vine has thickened up so much. I really just can't wait and see what she's gonna look like at the end of this growing season. So this is gonna be it for this video. Stay tuned. Hopefully very soon we will be potting up with its very own moss pole, my Manjula Pothos, and of course I'll keep updating you on the Snow Queen, or bring you along for the chop when that time comes, and all of that. Anything I used, I'll make sure to note it down below. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me. I will see you very soon. Bye.